Will you fill my bucket? So fill means to put something in, and then a bucket is like a pail or something that you carry. So let's open up to the first page, and it looks like a map. I'm going to read the things on the map, and then when I turn the page, I'll ring the bell so that you know it's time to turn the page. But let's see what this is about. North America. So North America is where we live, the area that we live. Texas is somewhere around here. And then there's Mexico, that's right through there. And then there's South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia. So those are the continents. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's one continent missing, and that continent, Antarctica, doesn't have any living people on it. So that's probably why they didn't put that one there, because there's actually 7, even though this one's showing 6. Children around the world ask, will you fill my bucket and make me happy too? Will you fill my bucket with the love that comes from you? So I don't think they're really wanting somebody to fill their bucket with something. I think they're asking for somebody to show them love. Let's see in the story. Will you fill my bucket and hold me on your lap? Will you fill my bucket and kiss me at my nap? Okay, so now I am right. The person isn't really wanting them to put something in their bucket. They're asking them to show them love, to show them in some way that they love them. So the rest of the story, I'm going to see if you can figure out how is that person filling their bucket? How is it that they're showing that little child some kind of love? Will you fill my bucket and push me on the swing? Will you fill my bucket and clap and dance and sing? All these children are all over the world. So, in the first page, you can see in the background that they're in New York because I see the Eiffel Tower. So they're in America. Then on the second page, they're somewhere in Asia. It could be Chinese or Japanese or Korean. Then they're in Mexico. You can see by their sombreros and the mountains in the background. And then they're in Africa because you see the zebras in the background and the African children and their father, so and the drums. So they're showing different children across the world. That's nice. Will you fill my bucket and snuggle cheek to cheek? Will you fill my bucket and play hide and go seek? Okay, so in this picture, you can see they're in Alaska with the Eskimos. And then in the picture next to them, they're in Australia because you can see the koala bear in the tree and the kangaroo in the background. And then think again, how are the adults filling the children's bucket? How are they showing them that they love them? 1, they snuggle cheek to cheek. That's a good way to show love. Then they play hide and go seek. They're playing with them. So they're showing them lots of love. Will you fill my bucket and keep me by your side? Will you fill my bucket and take me on a ride? Oh, now where are they in this picture? It looks like it could be South America, maybe somewhere like Brazil or Colombia. And then on the other side, you can see they're in Egypt because you see the pyramids. And then again, think, how are they showing them love? How are they filling their bucket? Well, this mom filled their bucket because she's holding their hand and walking side by side. And this dad filled his bucket because he's taking him on a ride on his shoulders. Okay, let's keep reading. Will you fill my bucket and hug me in your arms? Will you fill my bucket and laugh at all my charms? Okay, so this grandmother looks like is filling her granddaughter's bucket in Russia. You know how I know that it's Russia? Look at the little dolls in the window. Those are made in Russia. They're called nesting dolls because they kind of fit one into the other and then you can take them apart. So that's in Russia. And then on the other page, they're in India. You can tell by the way that they're dressed and the head coverings of the mother. And then how are they showing them love? The grandmother's giving her a hug and the mother is laughing at her being silly. Now I'm going to let you figure out where they are, and I'll give you a hint and tell you because you may not know the place. Will you fill my bucket and show me what to do? Will you fill my bucket and tell me I love you? And one by one, the answer is, and those three little periods, ... means that we have to wait for the answer on the next page. But before we turn the page, look at the man and the little boy in the garden. If you look in the background behind them, there's a funny shaped windmill. Do you know what country makes their windmills like that? Okay. It's Holland. So you may have been correct, Holland. And then look at the next page. Look at the hat that the little girl is wearing and the clothes that the mother's wearing and then in the background. So you can see that kind of hat is from China and you can see the rice on the table and the soy sauce that's there. So the dragons and birds on her shirt kind of give us a hint. And then how are they showing love? They're working together in the garden. So that's how the grandfather filled his bucket. And then how did the mom or sister or aunt, some relative or even a friend, may have shown her love by telling her, I love you. And the answer is one by one on the next page. Yes, I will fill your bucket and hold you on my lap. Yes, I will fill your bucket and kiss you at your nap. Yes, I will fill your bucket and push you on the swing. Yes, I will fill your bucket and clap and dance and sing. Yes, I will fill your bucket and snuggle cheek to cheek. Yes, I will fill your bucket and play hide and go seek. Yes, I will fill your bucket and keep you by my side. Yes, I will fill your bucket and take you on a ride. Yes, I will fill your bucket and hug you in my arms. Yes, I will fill your bucket and laugh at all your charms. Yes, I will fill your bucket and show you what to do. Yes, I will fill your bucket and tell you I love you. Just listen and you will hear these words. I want to fill your bucket, and it fills my bucket too, when I show you that I love you, because I truly do. Now, here's a lot of big words and pictures, but basically it's telling the adults who love their children to take time and fill their buckets, do things that show them that they love them. And then that's a picture of the two authors, the two ladies that wrote this book. And then there's a picture of the illustrator. Remember, an illustrator is a person that draws the pictures. So she drew all the beautiful pictures in this book. So remember, will you fill my bucket? Filling your bucket is a way to say, will you show me that you love me? Will you fill my bucket? Will you show me that you love me? I hope you enjoyed that story.